Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ian Gordon of Team Radical Change, and I'd like to take this privilege to walk you through what we call the Cashflow Quadrant. Now, the Cashflow Quadrant was something that I learned from Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad. And basically, the entire business world is encompassed within the Cashflow Quadrant. I want you to see this. We have our quadrants, and in the first quadrant we have our E's. In the E quadrant, it stands for employees. Employees, people who work for those who own businesses or even government. Okay? Down in this quadrant, we have the S's. Now, the S's stand for self-employed, specialists, even sports stars. Basically, S's are people who do it themselves. We have people like lawyers, accountants, doctors who own their own practices. They are working for themselves, and pretty much they don't work for anyone else, but they own a job. In the upper quadrant, upper right hand side, we have the B's. Now, the B's is what gets me excited, because I believe that, first of all, this side of the quadrant is what we need to be shooting for, but I'll explain more later. But the B's stand for big business or business owners. Okay, these are the people who have invested or created systems where the systems can run by themselves without the business owner actually being there. The B's basically hire employees to work their systems. Okay? And in the lower right hand side, we have the I's. And the I's stand for investors. Now, the investors are those who use money and the money works for them. Investors don't work. Investors, the most work that investors will do is research. Research into stocks, research into bonds and options and Forex. Or they'll do research into traders and who can best handle their money. Okay? Investors do very little work. Business owners, once the system is established, does very little work. E's, well, it depends. It depends on their work ethic, and it depends how much they want to keep their job. The S's are guaranteed to work hard all the time, because if they don't come to work, there's no one else to do the work for them, and they don't get paid. Now, one of the things I want you to look into are some of the values that each quadrant represents. The E's, because they are employees, their main value is security and benefits. Security and benefits. The reason why we can be stuck in a job for 40 years and never leave the field of being an employee is because we are stuck on security and benefits. This is what we're told from the moment we are in school, that we should study hard and work hard in school so that we can get a good job and get benefits and collect our pension when we get old. Okay? The S's, their values can be represented by do it yourself. If you're going to get it done, do it yourself. These people tend to be very independent. Though they may work on teams, their individual performance is what determines how much they will be getting paid at the end of the day. The B's. The B's have a very interesting set of values. The B's can be represented by generational wealth. Why generational wealth? Because once the system is in place, the business runs by itself without the owner being there. And it is something that the business owner can hand down to the next generation, and they can hand down to the next generation, and so on and so forth. Now, the ease, there's nothing to hand down to except some savings that they may have worked really, really hard for. And those savings probably will not go beyond the first, rarely even beyond the second generation. The do-it-yourselfers, it's very similar position to the ease. What they're handing down may be, they may be handing down a job to the next generation, because what you'll find are that somebody who may be a specialist in a certain area, such as accounting, well, their children may grow up with proclivities towards accounting. Or if they were doctors, their children may grow up with proclivities towards doctors or being a dentist. So you'll find that the first generation will hand down a practice down to the next generation, but really what they've handed them is a job. Now the I's, their value can be represented by the desire for time, freedom. Why time freedom? Because once the money is working for them, there's nothing left for them to do. Time freedom. Let your money work for you. So after you've seen this Cashflow Quadrant explanation, where do you think you want to be? Do you want to be on the right side, or do you want to be on the left side? It's your choice.